I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Rough Country Front Quick Disconnects fitting on 1997 to 2006 Wranglers. These are available for both 2.5 to 3.25 inches of lift or 4 to 6 inches of lift, so you can get the right ones for your suspension. Disconnecting your front sway bar off-road will give you more articulation and flex, which allows you to keep more tires on the ground at the same time, providing more traction to get over obstacles. Now, you can disconnect your factory sway bars, but it's a little bit more of a difficult process and you have to have some wrenches. With a setup like this, which is a quick disconnect, you can easily pull the pins and disconnect your sway bar at the trailhead so you have maximum performance off-road, but they'll easily reconnect, providing a much more stable ride when you're on the road. These are a really simple set of quick disconnects, and while they have a couple of drawbacks that we'll get to in a minute, they are less expensive than some of the other ones on the market. So, depending on your budget and what you want for your Jeep, these may be a good fit. As I mentioned, these quick disconnects are adjustable for a range of lift kits, but there are two different versions of them, one for larger and one for smaller lifts. So you want to make sure you get the right one for your Jeep, and then once you get them installed, you'll be able to use the threaded rod to adjust them to length. These come with all the hardware that you need to get them installed on the Jeep, and these brackets over here which give you a spot to hook the sway bar link into when they're not in use to make sure that they don't bind up or get bent. Now, these do fit pretty tightly when you first get them installed on the Jeep, which is a good thing because some cheap sets of quick disconnects will rattle right out of the box. These ones shouldn't rattle right away, however, they don't have a greasable joint at the top. Even the factory sway bar end links are greasable, these ones are not. So it makes me think that these are going to wear out a little bit quicker and end up rattling on you. So again, depending on your budget and what you want for your Jeep, these may be a good option, or you may want to spend a little bit more money and get a set that's greasable that may last a little longer. Getting these installed on your Jeep is a pretty simple process. They'll just take the place of your factory end links. Now, these don't come out of the box assembled like this, so there are a few different pieces that you'll have to identify. The instructions make it really clear exactly what's what, and this installation is really easy for anybody. You won't need any specialty tools, but you will need a Torx bit and a socket set. To start the installation, the first thing is to remove your factory sway bar end links. Once those are unbolted and removed, you can get to installing the new ones. First, you'll install this new bracket up top, then install the sway bar end link itself. Finally, you'll install the pin on the lower axle side of the sway bar end link and make your connection with the removable pin. The last step in the process is to install these brackets, which again are just a bolt-on part, and they'll allow you to swing the disconnects up out of the way when they are disconnected off-road, so they're not going to bind up with the axle. Once you have everything installed, you can adjust the length of the sway bar end links with the stop nut and the threaded rod. In order to get them adjusted properly, you'll want the sway bar to be right around parallel with the ground when the Jeep is under its own weight. Now, technically, you want the sway bar to be parallel to the ground when the Jeep is halfway through its suspension travel. That's a little bit more difficult to figure out, but right around parallel should do the trick. So like I said, these are a little bit less expensive than some of the other disconnects on the market. And right out of the box, they fit pretty well, they're nice and tight, and you shouldn't get any rattles out of them. However, without having a greasable joint at the top, I am a little bit concerned that they might wear out and start causing a little bit of noise. So if you're concerned with how these are going to hold up over the long term, you may want to spend a little bit more money, get one of those options that has a greasable joint that's a little more heavy duty to eliminate any noise that may occur down the line. So if you're looking for an inexpensive set of front sway bar quick disconnects to give you the full amount of articulation and suspension travel when you're off-road, this is a good way to go. These may not hold up quite as well as some of the more expensive options on the market over many years of hard use. However, right out of the box, these will work well and they install easily. So that's my review of the Rough Country Front Quick Disconnects fitting all 1997 to 2006 Wranglers that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.